Hello. So we have a lot of pre-recorded content. Not a lot. It's like 2 videos. You have some pre-recorded content coming to you. You have some pre-recorded You have some pre-recorded content coming to you because I am currently not at home and I needed to get this content out of the way. So hello everyone, welcome to the Realm of Comics, where we talk everything that is comics, graphic novels, and manga. And we're here to talk about my October reading plans, even though this video is going up and it's already a few days in October and we have some great things going on. I mean, it is the spooky time of year. It is a Black Halloween. And so there is a lot that's going to be happening on this channel. I actually have some content planned out ahead of time, which is very unlike me. I am just now getting back into the swing of filming. I have been very sick. During the month of September. I was sick and then I got better, then it got worse, then it got worse again, and I ended up in the hospital. And so I am just now getting to a place where I feel comfortable sitting down and filming. As a matter of fact, I have a throat lozenge in my mouth as I'm filming this, and that's okay. So I'm here to do my October reading plans. I have been doing okay, picking up some things that have been on my TBR. We all know, like, this is reading plans. This is my intentions. Will it happen? I don't know. But I'm doing a 5x5x5 in which I'm going to be talking about 5 manga, 5 comics, and 5 graphic novels that I'm interested in picking up. Some of these are repeats from previous months because they just have not gotten read yet and I need them to get done. I'm hoping to make it through a decent amount of this. However, I am keeping in mind that I am not going to be at home for the first week of October. So there's that. We'll see how this goes. And then I have some content planned around Black Halloween. So we're just going to go with it. But let's go ahead and jump in. I'm not going to go into too much of explanations behind any of this because I don't want this video to be too long. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with the manga, then we'll follow up with the comics, and then we'll go into the graphic novels. So the first thing that I have on my list is Nana Volume 8. I have been meaning to continue my read of Nana and I just have not done it. I haven't done it. And we're getting closer to the end of the year and I haven't done it. And so I am going to force myself to literally read Nana this month, even if it's just 1 volume, because I have to at some point, like I've got to like suck it up. I've got to get it done. And I just haven't been doing it. The next one is another one. I was supposed to read Food Wars Volume 19 and I specifically put Volume 19 here because that is the volume where I stopped and I'm supposed to be reading through the rest of the series by the end of the year. It's not going to happen this year. I just haven't gotten to it. We just came off of 30 and 30 and I just did not I did not reach my goals, y'all. I didn't reach my goals. So I do have Food Wars Volume 19 on this list. I also have Spy Family Volume 2 on this list because I did a video a couple months back talking about my first impressions, my reactions to Spy Family, and I am, why did Target put this on backwards? Target put this so weird. But I did enjoy the first volume. I own volumes 1 through 3 and I did want to continue with Spy Family. It's really cute. It's fun. I can see why people love it so much. And so naturally it's like, let's continue the series. Next thing I have on my list, which I don't have any copies. It's a lie. I do have copies over there, but I'm not getting up and getting it. But I do want to continue reading Apothecary Diaries. I finished volume 3 for 30 and 30 and I have volumes 4, 5, and 6, which were gifts, birthday gifts. So I do want to continue, or maybe I have volumes 4 and 5. I have volumes 4 and 5. I do want to continue with that series. I've been really enjoying it. I think every volume that I read, 1, 2, and 3, I have given 4 or 5 stars to. So just, you know, a lot of these are just continuing on with, actually all of these are continuing on with series, because the 5th one is One Piece. So my goal was actually to make it through the entirety of One Piece this year and I didn't do it at all. In fact, for 30 and 30, I just literally finished volume 5 and I loved it. I don't think it was as strong as volumes 1 through 4, but I did enjoy it. And so I want to finish some more. I don't think that I'm going to get very far into the series before we reach December 31st, but I do want to read as many volumes as possible. So literally in my notes where I was talking about One Piece, I literally said One Piece, as many volumes as possible, because I don't want to put a limit on you know, how many or how few I'm gonna read for the month of October. All right, shifting over to the comics. Some of these y'all have already seen. Actually, most of these are by one human, and that's perfectly fine. 3 of these are by one human, and we should not be surprised. So I'm gonna cover those first. I do want to continue with Something is Killing the Children, Volume 5. I was supposed to read this in September, but with 30 and 30 taking place, it was just really, really hard to figure out a balance between reading all the manga that I was reading and then going back to Something is Killing Children and also completing volume 2 of House of Slaughter. These, of course, are both by James Tynion. This is a series that Brie and I have discussed for our Realm of Comics book club and have really, really loved. We both love James Tynion, and this series is just a masterpiece. I'm really enjoying it. House of Slaughter Volume 1 definitely made me more emotional than what I anticipated, and Something is Killing the Children is just a unique work within itself. But if you did not know, these two do tie into each other. House of Slaughter is a prequel to Something is Killing the Children. And the other thing that I want to complete by James Tynion, it's actually a reread for me. I've read all of this. I actually need to dive into Volume 2 and Volume 3, but that is Joker. This is, I don't even know how to describe what Joker is. I mean, I know I talk about it a lot, but this takes place after the Joker War. And so we had some issues that are going on that are very similar to what Joker's done, but it may or may not be Joker. And this is actually a Commissioner Gordon book, but the whole purpose of it is that Joker has such a omnipresence in this entire thing that it feels like this is a book about him, even though it's not taking place from his perspective. It is really dark. But I love the artwork in this. Like, this is one of the variant covers. Is this a variant? No, this was, I think, the A cover. I think this was the A cover for issue number 3, which I absolutely loved. And so in this, Commissioner Gordon is sent to hunt down Joker, and he's dealt with a lot as a result of the Joker War. He's lost a lot, and so he's dealing with some psychological things in relationship to Joker, and it's very fascinating. I do have Volume 2 of Joker up there. I just want to reread it so I can refresh my memory. It's not a long read. I don't think it can't be more than like 150 pages, but it is one that I know I have read and have actively enjoyed and would love to pick up again. Speaking of being in the same city, in Gotham City, we have a character that was created by James Tynion, and this is Punchline. What's interesting is that I've read Punchline before. I read the one-shot of Punchline when James Tynion originally brought her to the DC universe, and I wasn't a huge fan of her. I did feel like she was a watered down version of Harley Quinn, and they tried to make Harley Quinn less of a villain and more of a morally gray character, and I really wasn't vibing with it. But Tini Howard did this, Punchline Gotham Game, and I read, I think, issues 1 and 2 out of this, and I can't remember if this was a limited series or not, or if we're gonna get any more outside of this. But I love this. This takes place, I believe, right as Punchline is getting out of jail, because we find out a lot about Punchline's origin story in that one shot and eventually what ends up happening. And so we're following those subsequent events, and this was good. The first 2 issues of this was good. So when I saw that my library was actually getting a trade of this, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read this one. So I did have this on my list. The last one that I have is also a reread. I've read up to volume 6 or 7 of the series, and I've reread this first volume quite a bit to the point that I actually have sticky notes in it where I have written notes and tabs at the top because I have enjoyed it so much, and that is The Wicked and the Divine, The False Act. This is by Gillen, and the artwork is what makes this. I have to find you the actual, like, an issue or a full spread, because some of the images in here are just unbelievably beautiful. Like, this is a full picture that I think is gorgeous. And there's one, I can't remember if it's in this volume or if it's, I feel like it's in this volume, but this is another pretty one too. I think that's gorgeous to start every single issue in the trade. But this is an interesting, I think, it's an interesting series if you are a fan of any type of like mythology. So basically this is about these gods and goddesses that come from different cultures. They represent the gods and goddesses of different cultures. They come back every 90 years and they inhabit the bodies of people who have already been on Earth, and they stay for 2 years before they die again. And so we're following a main character who's super obsessed with these gods and goddesses, and I was about to spoil it, and comes into contact specifically with Lucy, and Lucy is being framed supposedly for the death of someone, which they were not supposed to be a part of, engage with. And so this main character is attempting in some ways to save Lucy, and it opens up a world of more issues than what was expected. Really enjoyed the series. I think because I own the entire series, which it's a 9-volume series, and I've read so much of it, I just want to reread to get a refresh and then continue with the rest of the series. I also have 5 graphic novels that I need to finish. Some of them 2 of them I've started, and 3 of them I haven't, but 2 are repeats and 1 is a new one. The first one that I have is Steve Schenken's Bomb. This is a middle grade graphic novel that deals with the creation of the atomic bomb during World War II. Steve Schenken does a lot of children's like nonfiction work, and so children middle grade YA nonfiction work. And so I was excited to see that he was attached to a middle grade graphic novel that's nonfiction. I have not really heard a lot about this one, but it is one that I'm interested in picking up because it is Steve Schenken, and then also because it is a history piece, specifically about World War II, which is a war that I really enjoy learning more about. Next I have Mish, the Bad Demon. This is another middle grade graphic novel that I have talked about a lot, so I'm not going to talk about it again, but this is rolling over from like 2 TBRs that I've done before, and I am like, I just need to continue and finish and get this done and over with because I've talked about it so much. Same thing with Crumbs. This is another one that I've put on my TBR multiple times. This was originally a webtoon. This is a young adult graphic novel that is perfect for this month because it does feature a witch in it, and or deals with at least magic. I'm assuming that she's a witch, but is dealing with magical elements, and I think this would be a really great read for October. It's just really thick. It's a thick one. It is super thick. It's almost 400 pages long, but you know, I'm gonna attempt and try to get through it. We also have Babysitter's Club. This is the first one in the graphic novel adaptations of the series. I had previously read the actual prose book. I'm going through and slowly reading all of the books from the series and trying to also read the graphic novel adaptations. I've read part of this. It is very similar to the book itself with just a few minor changes to it. And so this is one that I literally just need to finish up. And the last one is also another one that I've started that I've talked about on my channel, and that is My Aunt is a Monster by Ramana Yee, which I read the Seance Tea Party by them and really enjoyed it. And so I'm looking forward to picking up another work by them. This is another one that's pretty thick. I think this one is close to 400 pages, but I did start this one and I just literally need to finish it. All right, y'all, so those are some of the books that I'm hoping to read in October. I don't have 30 and 30 this month, so I'm hoping that potentially you know, this is more stuff that I can actually actively make it through because I'm not dealing with 30 and 30, but we'll see what happens. Y'all will see what happens whenever I do the weekly vlogs, and you know, we'll see where it goes. But as always, let me know what you are reading for October. How was your reading month in September? And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and I will be back with another video soon.